Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from Skiessentials.com, and we're here to do a different style review than we've been doing thus far. We've done a lot of 2020 ski reviews. I know you guys are excited about skis coming out next year, but we're just about to end the month of May, really getting into some nice warm weather here in Vermont and around the rest of the country and the northern hemisphere as well. So we're kind of changing paces a little bit as far as, you know, the activities that we're doing on a daily basis, and kind of what we're thinking about on a daily basis. So still lots going on around here about skis, and we'll still be rolling out 2020 ski reviews the rest of the summer. Working hard compiling all the data from our 2020 ski test as well. So plenty of skiing related stuff going on. But we thought we would work in a couple rollerblade reviews as well. You may have noticed that we're a rollerblade dealer. We picked up the brand a few years ago. There's really, rollerblade as a company and inline skating or rollerblading as a sport is kind of making a comeback here. You know, very popular back in the 90s. I was a child of the 90s. So to speak, age 4 to 14, which we were talking about the other day. So I was introduced to rollerblading at a young age, and it's definitely making a comeback. The equipment's a lot better now. So we're going to take a look at one particular model of rollerblade skates today. Talk a little bit about them, who they're best for, what you can do with them, how rollerblading benefits skiing, and then we'll show you some other skates as well and kind of touch on them quickly. We'll probably end up doing at least 3 of these, probably not much more than 4 or 5 rollerblade reviews. So keep an eye out if you want to check back and see other skates. And in the meantime, definitely let us know if you have any questions once I'm done. So this skate right here is the Rollerblade Twister Edge. A couple different variations of this skate. This is the Twister Edge X, which is really just a limited edition graphic, excuse me. Over to my right, these are also the Twister Edge skates. This is the men's colorway, and that purple one next to it is the women's colorway. All 3 are the same, and we have all 3 available on Skiessentials.com, so you can kind of, you know, pick which color you like best. And rest assured that the performance of the skate is going to be the same. So we'll talk a little bit about just the skate itself before we get into performance. Probably the first thing you'll notice when you take these out of the box and just hold them in your hand is the just general level of quality. Opposed to rollerblades of the past or inline skates of the past, these feel just really, really high quality in your hand. Really rugged plastic on this upper boot, and this is a full hard shell boot, which is something that we're going to talk about when we get to performance. But really rugged plastic. The lacing system is, you know, pretty basic but proven to work. It's just a simple lacing system that you tie. It's got kind of this 45-degree strap, which is really helping you keep yourself back in the heel pocket, very much like a ski boot. Kind of the third buckle of a ski boot, or if you're thinking cabrio boots, it's very similar to a 3-piece cabrio boot. You just don't get a plastic tongue. And then there's this top portion of the boot, top buckle basically helping close it around your leg. The liner itself, I'm not going to pull it out right now, but it is a nice liner. There's nothing like super crazy about it, but it is a very high quality liner. It's again another thing that you just kind of notice once you have them in your hand. If you pull the liner out, you're like, whoa, that's a really nice liner. Again, kind of looks similar to a ski boot liner. And then the wheels and the frames. Frames are aluminum now. They're extruded aluminum, which if you were to put these next to a skate from the 90s with plastic frames, it's like a world of difference. Spaces the wheels out really well too. These are 480 millimeter wheels, and we're going to talk about wheel size in a little bit. But I really like this feel, the 480 millimeter wheels, and it's just a really, really clean looking design. Really, really good looking skate overall. I want to talk a little bit about fit before we go into performance. If you're used to ski boot fit, which most of you probably are, you're going to, or you may want to kind of look at sizing and just carry your ski boot size over. I would not recommend doing that. So for example, I've been skiing for years now in a 24.5 ski boot. I downsized probably 10 years ago from a 25.5, and they're really, really tight, but they give me the performance I need. Sometimes need to do some custom work to them to make them fit, but realistically, I am a 24.5 ski boot, or a 24 ski boot. This is actually a 26.0 in Mondo size or centimeter size, which comes out to a US size 8, which is also interesting. A lot of my casual shoes are size 8. I run in 7.5, and my mountain bike shoes are 7.5. So kind of my performance-oriented shoes are typically 7.5. My street shoe is 8, and I find these fit me best. I probably could go down a size if I wanted to, but I don't think there would be any benefit. I don't have an excessive amount of toe room in this skate. So that's my advice for sizing, is go off your kind of casual shoe size, and I think you're going to find that's what works best. Definitely let us know if you have any questions about sizing. A quick note on hard shell boots. It is like a ski boot, so you have that hard external shell. These fit not super narrow, but a little bit narrow. I got a little bit of, not pain, but kind of a hot spot on my navicular when I was skating this skate. And I think, ultimately what I would do, and what I will do, because I'm planning on getting a pair of these for myself, is punch out that spot, just like you would with a ski boot. So just do a quick little punch. You can stretch this plastic just like you would with a ski boot. You can grind it too. I typically prefer stretching for my navicular if I need to. So something to think about there. And I guess I'll bring up Softshell Boots real quick. If you're not super serious about rollerblading or inline skating or the sport in general, and you're not like really driven by performance, there are going to be Softshell Boots that definitely will never require any kind of customization, and they fit just really, really comfortably off the bat, and they still perform really, really well. So that might be a better choice for you, but I'll show you some of those when we get to the end of this review. Performance itself, let's just go right into performance. I skated quite a bit when I was younger, so I feel pretty comfortable on skates. Tried a bunch of different rollerblades we did a little test day recently, and we have a bunch of test pairs kind of kicking around the office. So I skated some of their bigger 3-wheeled skates, which I have some that I can show you at the end. And then I skated these towards the end of the day, and for me this was perfect. Rollerblade's skate to ski program is really interesting. I would definitely check it out if you're interested in kind of the cross training, doing some rollerblading or inline skating in the summer to keep your balance up, keep your fitness up. Uses similar muscle groups as skiing. So for that, I really, really, really like this feel, which kind of makes sense because I ski a lot of not necessarily true center mounted skis, but pretty close to center mounted skis, kind of have a freestyle background. And this skate gave me a similar feel, lower center of gravity than the bigger wheels. I will say that the bigger wheels roll over obstacles noticeably easier. So I skated quite a few 110 millimeter wheels, which is quite a bit bigger than that. I'll actually grab a pair to show you right now. This is a 3-wheel 110 millimeter skate, which we have available on Ski Essentials as well. So you can see the difference between the two. These big wheels do roll over things a little bit easier than the 4 wheels. But what's nice about these 4 wheels is it keeps your center of gravity lower, and you actually have kind of like a longer wheelbase or a longer effective edge if you want to get into ski terms and kind of cross over from ski terms. So I really like the 4 wheels. I think they carve a little bit better than the 3 wheel, especially right off the bat. We were talking to our rep, the Rollerblade rep, and eventually those 3 wheel skates kind of wear into more of a rockered shape, so the front and rear wheels wear quicker than the center wheel, which helps that carving. But these have just a really instinctual feel when you're kind of carving turns. Really, really fun skate overall. I kind of like to, as a kid, I like to skate parks and jump off of stuff, and that's another thing I feel with the Twister Edge is that I'm not nearly as brave as I used to be, but I can still kind of jump off some curbs here and there, do little 180s, stuff like that. Just a really fun skate. I thought it had a really, for me personally, it had a perfect mix of being playful, but also a skate that I could go out and do some distance on just for a fitness workout, a cardiovascular workout. These actually fall in the kind of free skate urban category for Rollerblade. So a lot of urban commuters are using these, but I think they cross over between a ton of different rollerblading disciplines. So that was really fun. I did find that this was the stiffest boot out of everything that we tried. So I'm going to show you some other skates now, and we'll kind of talk about how those differ from the Twister Edge here. So we've got those 3 Twister Edges like I talked about at first. The first skate I want to talk about is the Maxim 90. At first glance, these are pretty darn similar. And this skate was actually specifically designed for their skate to ski program. So you actually get 90 millimeter wheels on these. You get 4 90 millimeter wheels. So you get that same carving benefit that we talked about, but a little bit easier rolling, less rolling resistance than the smaller wheels. These have a slightly softer flex too, especially in that upper cuff area. So allows for easier ankle flexion. So kind of personal preference there. And this is a skate that we are going to do a full review of. We kind of took a quick look at the 110. Similar thing. This is a full hard boot, slightly different shell design than the Twister, slightly different than the Maxim as well. But same idea here. You get the same responsiveness and support out of that plastic shell as you do with these other skates. Again, a little bit less nimble with the 3 wheel, but they roll super fast. So if you're really looking to put distance down, this is a great choice. And then for those of you, say you're liking everything I'm saying, but you're not quite convinced that it's something that you're going to devote a ton of time to, or you're not really looking for that upper tier of performance, Rollerblade has some really nice soft boot options as well. This is the Zetra blade, which is probably the best value of anything they sell, or anything we have on Ski Essentials. Pretty straightforward skate, but still really high quality components. You don't get the aluminum frame like we saw. This is a plastic frame. But for people that just want to get out and have fun, these are fantastic. Quite a lot of people on our staff are getting the Zetra blade just because they want to have something that's easy. They know that's going to be comfortable and fit easy, and just get out and skate around and have some fun. Great choice. And then this kind of steps up the performance a little bit. This is the Macroblade 80. Few different wheel size options with this, and I will mention now that with these skates, you do have the option to swap around frames. Say you got this skate and then down the road you want to try the 3-wheel setup, you could swap a 3-wheel frame onto that boot. But on the Macroblade, we're back to an aluminum frame, slightly different design than what we see in the other skates, but it is aluminum. But again, a soft shell boot that's going to fit really easily, really comfortably. This was the first skate that I skated during our kind of day-long test recently, and I was psyched. I had so much fun on these. It was comfortable. It was really easy to put on. I did notice a step up in performance when I started getting to the hard shell boots and the different wheel setups and stuff like that, but Macroblade 80 is great, and this is likely one that we'll do a full review of as well. So that's it. That's the Twister Edge. I'm not going to talk anymore. I think we went over quite a bit of stuff. Let us know if you have any questions. Maybe rollerblading's brand new to you. Maybe you haven't done it in like 20 years and you're unfamiliar with the new equipment and you just have questions for us. Whatever it is, let us know. Happy to help you choose your rollerblades. And I definitely encourage you to get out there and do it. It's just so much fun. We have a perfect paved rec path here in Stowe that's a blast to get out and skate on. So that's the Twister Edge from Rollerblade. Let us know if you have any questions, and we will see you on paved rec paths and parking lots and anywhere else we can get on our rollerblades.